What's going on, y'all? So I checked out that film. I didn't watch the TV copy. I actually watched the all 22 film. And yeah, I got some notes that I want to take, or that I want to share with y'all that I took and watching the film. But in regards to my all 22 this week, I was going to knock out some uploads, but I think this might cause for a live this week. So I'm probably going to piece up some film together and we're going to go over it together on live this week. Well, very soon, I could say. So very soon, not this week, but very soon. So either probably like today or most likely tomorrow, uh, we'll probably go over some stuff. But in regards to the film, I got something I want to talk to y'all about. Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, he trash. He trash. As I mentioned in that live yesterday, for who he got beat by, if he's getting beat by him, 96, Granderson, then we in for a long year on that side when it comes to pass blocking. Because that performance that he have, like, he looks so soft pass block. Like I said, he's a better run blocking tackle than he is pass blocking. And if he's just going to be purely just a run blocking tackle, what's the point of having Terrence Steele on his team? What was the point of paying a right tackle that pretty much is just purely a run blocking tackle and just an okay pass blocking tackle? That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Like, what we paid him, we expect him to be able to lock up some of the best. Like, if we're just being honest, like, I'm trying to figure out how do you have a solid, decent game against better competition on the edge, and then all of a sudden you just took from inferior competition from what you faced the previous week, you just laid an egg. Like, your balance was horrible. like everything you could probably admit. Like, he got beat on like 2-3 inside moves, and a couple of them was poorly set up by the defensive end, and he still beat him anyway. He gave up the edge on a couple times. Like, he had one play where I don't know what it was. Like, it just felt like the defender and he just fell over. So I'm like, I don't know. But in regards to your offensive line, who played the worst? It was Terrence Steele, because your rookie guy actually improved this week. He actually looked a whole lot better than what he did last week. So that's a good sign. But the offensive line in general, especially the first half, it just felt like, or it just seemed like they were just moving in sand. Like, they were just a little bit slow. Like, even looking at Tyler Smith, it just looked like he was just like a half step slow, especially when it came down to creeping to the second level. So I don't know what all that was about. People say that maybe they might have took him for granted, or like I said, I don't understand why you taking any team for granted in it's week 2. I don't understand how could something be a trap game when you don't even know nothing about nobody right now, especially in regards to the Saints. Especially if you're going to talk about, like, I don't even get how it would be a trap game. And if you're going off of last year, you should understand that that they built some momentum and they could possibly carry on to this year. So I don't get that, you know? So what, they going to say Green Bay was a trap game too? Don't make no sense to me. You know, so they can't use that as an excuse. We just be honest, they're just an inconsistent team. They're an inconsistent team, and they still a soft team. They still a soft team. We just gonna have to be real. Like, that shouldn't happen. If you're a consistent, a playoff team, a supposed contender, then that performance that you displayed on Sunday should have never happened if you was one of them ones. But evidently you're not one of them ones. You just an inconsistent team, and inconsistent teams usually end up being 500. That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, the interior as a whole, it wasn't bad. Cooper Beebe didn't look bad. Cooper Beebe looked solid again. Zach Martin, Tyler Smith. Like I said, the interior is the best thing going for your offensive line. They look solid. So, but since we on the offense, let's go to the wide receivers. Your wide receivers outside of CeeDee Lamb ain't really getting no separation on a consistent basis. You're going to have to address that situation. You're going to have to address that because what was displayed there from the wide receiver, that ain't going to cut it. Also, your running backs, that ain't it. Actually, like some of the running, probably the best out of the bunch on Sunday was actually Deuce Vaughn as far as the running that he was doing. You know, like it's crazy. Like I see some people talking about that they more in favor of to have Rico Dowdle than they would Deuce Vaughn. Now I'm not just saying like Deuce Vaughn's supposed to be the answer, but I'm saying like the top two that you got definitely ain't the answer because with Rico, like how many yards did Rico get after contact? Like, and I ask this question, I still pose this question: what does Rico Dowdle do well? You know, we know what Zeke do well, but what does Rico Dowdle do well? I don't know. He's trash to me. Like I said, if he couldn't beat out TP, a wide receiver playing running back, then what makes you think that we could count on him this year? That's an epic fail from the coaching staff and an epic fail from Jerry Jones. Zeke, look, Zeke to me, when I was watching the film, Zeke to me, it seemed like the Jason Witten year. You remember when Jason Witten retired, came back? That's the type of year that I kind of think that we're going to get from Zeke. A washed up year, do it for the fans year. I think I got it, but I really don't really have it no more type of year. I might have a couple games where I just look so good, but the rest I just look mediocre type year. But oh yeah, I remember when he used to do that. We don't have the patience for I remember what you used to do. We don't have that patience. We need now. And I think that this team need to activate Cook now. I'm not saying that Cook gonna be the answer to the all be all either, but I'm sure that Cook definitely got to be better than this. I'm sure the Cook definitely got to be better than what we got right now. No burst to the hole. Like there was times where I see with Rico, like I'm thinking, okay, he can get through. He can't get through there. He ain't got it. So we talking about Zeke not having no burst shit. Well, I ain't see nothing from Rico. I ain't see no good running from Rico. That pure trash. And then on top of that, early in the game, he missing a block, which constitutes into some pressure on that. Like he ain't square up. Like, man, look, if you ain't blocking, if you ain't running, and if you ain't on special teams, then why are you on this team? For real, why are you on this team? You know, Dak Prescott, looking at that film, you know, because I was looking at everywhere though, but from what I've seen from him, he did not have a good game. Dak Prescott missed some throws. He was late on some throws. He didn't follow through. He didn't set his feet on certain throws. There were some throws like, yo, what are you doing? You know, hey, you got the first game so-called jitters out the way. He should have played better. And the stance that I came with y'all yesterday in regards to, hey, do we have I believe I seen somebody in the comment section talking about boosting up the morale of the team. That's correct. Like, when we go into these type of games, okay, if the defense ain't on their A game, then do we have a quarterback that we know that can go blow for blow with another team? And we don't. Like I said, if it don't go that way, it goes no way. And that's not good for a $60 million quarterback. That's not good. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, a smart quarterback would have understood the mission, which is to dominate TOP because his defense is struggling. So let's not put our defense on the field. Let's see if they can get their stuff together while we go ahead and figure some things out on offense. He couldn't sustain no drives. Like, we was pretty much all like, you know, like the offense we just gone. Like, we on the field and the next minute we get ready to ball. Like, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous on that. Let's talk about probably the best out of, let's go to the defense. Probably the best out of the defense, probably out of the linebackers. Like, even though Overshown has some limited slaps, he has some decent snaps. Probably the best out of your bunch that played a little bit more than usual probably was 35, Leofow, if I'm just being honest, as far as and how he got in on a couple of tackles. This definitely wasn't Eric Kendrick's best game, but a lot of that has to do with his decline in athletic ability. It ain't like he don't. It's his decline in athletic ability, and it also didn't help that you got your D line getting pumped. Now, speaking of the D line, I didn't see like I seen somebody said that Linval Joseph game was just horrible. I didn't see that. Right there, like Linval Joseph's problem is just like Kendrick's problem, a decline in athleticism. So, but one thing I can tell you, y'all remember when I talked about in this film session about Jordan Phillips beating hot and cold? It was ice cold, freezing cold. Like, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow cold. Like, that was cold. And to be honest with you, that effort that he gave me, I damn near want him cut. Like I mentioned before, I'm like, there's a reason why the Giants is giving you this player. Because his best days is behind him. That's clear. His best days is behind him. Does he have talent? Yes. If he turns it on and he wants to go, yes. But what he doing, what he displayed yesterday was softer than what Mozzie did. He was the worst D tackle out of the bunch. Getting drugged 4 yards back. Come on, like we gonna see it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. Trust and believe. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that defensive line. And Osa did not play a good game. Oh my God, Osa was good. He got put on his fanny pack a couple times. And like I said, Osa needs a good D tackle next to him. He doesn't have that right now. Linval can only do so much for you, and he's probably the best nose guard. But that's not really saying much with the way that the team is, the way the team is made up and anything behind them. Mozzie, he tried, but it's still, you can see the weight thing. Mozzie didn't have no good, Mozzie, like I said, it's better than what it was last year, but he didn't have a good game. Because his weight, his strength is still not up to par for what you want a nose tackle to be. So, no. None of your D tackles really played up to par. Your defensive ends didn't play up to par. 90, 11, 94 got hit with the same play. You telling me that y'all not on them tablets on the sideline looking like, okay, when I see this, like, it's so funny because I'm looking down on the TV and I'm like, yo, they get ready to, they get ready to pin them in. Oh, this could be a crack toss. I'm like, the way they're lining up, they get ready to slam down linebackers. Can you see that? Like Kendrick, you're gonna tell them to let's kind of shift our way up and prepare for this. Let's tell our defense ends, make sure that you doing your best to keep contained, to fight. Man, sooner, boom, getting crashed down. I'm saying, oh my God. You had 3 defensive ends fall victim to that. Didn't make no sense to me. Number 11, where was he at? He was on the milk carton. Talked all this line stuff like we tell them. When we see physical teams, number 11 and number 4 do not show up. And that was proof to this day. The Browns just didn't have their offense together. The Browns were just on another little thing, right? Their defense is way ahead of their offense, especially at this point in time. And what we seen from number 11, from your so-called candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, that's why you don't get it. Because you soft. I don't care who, bro, he is not it. He did not show up. And then when you see toward the end of the game, he got a burst because it's a play action or something like that, and he think the quarterback, or he think if the quarterback kept it, so now he got a burst to the ball. But he don't have that same energy when it come down to stopping the run. That's pathetic. I still don't understand how people like him. That is a poor excuse for a leader of your squad, a poor excuse for a so-called star player. That's not going to cut it, y'all. He is not going to cut it. I'm telling you, he ain't changed. Mike Zimmer ain't put no change in him. What, because he said something different? He been talking a good game, remember? He been talking a good game since he came in the league. Pathetic. Oh my God. Oh my God. You gonna see? I'm gonna show you. I'm going to piece it together and I'm going to show you guys. because what he displayed, that was pathetic. Your defensive ends, your defensive line as a whole did not play well. Donovan Wilson is he's gonna be a victim also in the coming up weeks because they're gonna expose that he can't run downfield with speed. They're gonna catch him slipping, they're gonna catch him in coverage, and it's barbecue chicken. There was too many times where I see with my corners not having outside contain, not funny because part of them Alvin Kamara runs that shouldn't have been with the gains that they got was because their corners was also slipping on their contain too, because the corners also have contain too to be funneling inside, especially in that run game. They did a poor they did a poor job of that. Both sides of the ball was poor. Probably the best thing about your offense was your offensive line. I don't have anything bad to say about Schoonmaker because we know Schoonmaker wasn't no playmaker, but we just wanted Schoonmaker to catch the ball, and he caught the ball, but he just ain't going to make no plays. Like I said, that was a reach for a second-round pick. He's just not going to make no plays, y'all. But he did okay, but that's probably the best that you're going to get from Schoonmaker. A little one hit. If it's in, remember when I said if it's in his area, he going to catch it. He's not going to make no plays, and he's a short to intermediate catcher. You're not going to see anything downfield. And what do you see? Second year, you've seen everything short. 3 yards from the ball, 4 yards from the ball. You're not going to see anything most likely outside of 10 on a consistent basis. You're just not. You're just not. But, man, boy, you could say that like I said in the live that I spoke about yesterday, Zimmer, as far as his player packages, is where I can go ahead and give him a hard time. But other than that, that's your players. Because this seems, we didn't have 3 defensive coordinators in a matter of a few years. And they have gave consistent performances like this over these years. It's a player problem. It's a mentality problem. These players are soft and entitled. And like I said, we're going to see. Remember when we talked about all year? Oh, we're going to see if Micah really a changed man? No, he's not. So if Zim can't even get to him, it's going to be a long season, y'all. We done pieced the team together, a patchwork team together. And this is what's going to come. Shh. Watch Baltimore. You think you about to sit over there and just it probably won't be. It's not going to be a blowout like you got blowout. They're going to give a better effort because Baltimore, especially with Derrick Henry, they're going to be trying to be more at you. But the runs that they outflanked you, they're going to use that with Lamar. And if they got a running back outside of Henry that can get to the outside, they're going to try to outflank you. They're probably going to use Flowers to outflank you too. They're going to try to outflank you with somebody. And if these people not disciplined, what makes you think they're not going to? What makes you think they're going to be disciplined in containing Lamar Jackson? That's a whole different beast that you got to be disciplined for. And as you can see, this team is not mentally tough to even stay disciplined throughout the game. They're not physically tough because if you getting punked, you should take offense to that. You should take offense for somebody hitting you in your mouth, but they didn't take offense to that. So with that being the case, it's going to be a long game. It's gonna be a slow one. Hey, it is what it is. But that's my thoughts in regards to the game. Y'all stay tuned because I'm gonna be presenting this film real soon. We all 22 on the live on this one, y'all. We ain't gonna do upload on this one. We all 22 on the live. So stay tuned real soon because it's gonna come. But all right, y'all, to the next video. We gone.